If this is the first time flying and you're taking your camera with you, your equipment, and you want to know what to expect in the airport or traveling, I'm gonna give you some tips. So let's start. Hello, how are you? Welcome to my channel. My name is Carlos, and the first tip that I can give you is pack light. I know it sounds silly, and I know as a photographer, videographer, we want to bring everything we can so we don't miss that perfect shot. But the reality when you're traveling, the less you bring, the better. And that doesn't mean not to bring what you need. You have to plan your trip. You have to make sure where you're going, what you're going to use. Make sure you have enough batteries, you have the perfect lenses that you need. So just be prepared, but don't bring anything that you don't need. If this is your first time and you don't have idea what to bring, I can suggest probably bring a wide lens and maybe a telephoto lens. Just you have covered, let's say, the best of both worlds. Depending, maybe you have a zoom lens. I have a zoom lens that I don't really take on travels just because it's heavy. If I'm walking a lot, I don't want to be carrying it. And if I'm in certain places, I think it just take too much attention that I'm photographing, and I don't want that, so I don't use it. But if you have, just make sure it is according to what you need and what you like when you're photographing. So let's start. One of the things when we're going to the airport, usually they let you have a bag and a carry-on. Like you see this carry-on, it has an ugly color, or at least I didn't choose it, but I like to bring it with me. I have a huge one that I check in under the plane, and having a bright color will help you a lot because most people have dark colors, and having something different will help you find your bag right away and make your life easier, not to have to fight with other passengers and things like that they think is theirs. So something to think about it. And okay, now we're having our ticket and we're going to the TSA point. So basically we are ready on the van, and we need to put all our stuff. Carry-ons, just they go like that. You don't have to open or do anything. I have to say that actually this one they open it twice. I will talk about that in a little bit. But basically we're getting to there and we open our bag. I'm gonna show you what I have. This is really tiny bag. I have my Surface Pro 6. The rule is any electronic that is bigger than a cell phone has to be out of any bag. And like tablet, they say to put it by itself, but actually I always put my cell phone. If I have something else, I put it around it. The most important thing is that they won't overlap, and they're gonna be able, the person that is checking the x-ray machine, be able to see it. So now in my bag I have flash, I have some lenses. Basically they say, even a transmitter, they say that you don't really have to, like the lenses, you don't have to worry about it. You can leave it on the bag, and you can do that. I don't do it because I want to make sure that they don't see a weird shape. I mean, you will think that they know it's not a weapon, but you never know. You never know what they were thinking. Actually, they opened my bag, this one, because on my way that I was coming over here, they say they saw a weird shape with the souvenirs that I had. So you never know what they're looking for. You never know what they're thinking. And of course, you want to make sure that they're picky, and I cannot blame them for that, but I want to make their job easier, because if they see something suspicious, they will take my bag and things and they will put it somewhere else. I'm gonna try to look through. And if they grab anything, and I mean, they're really nice, and I had really great officers, and it happened, and if they drop something, I don't want that. So the easiest thing for me is just to put everything on the van. I have my camera. The camera you have to have outside, of course, is electronic. It's bigger than a cell phone. I have this one, this beauty. I really love this camera. It was my first Sony ever. I used to use Canon before that, and I just love, this is the A77, and I put in this bag because I just want to show you that this is huge. And just like other cameras, just to show you that you can put a lot of things in this tiny bag. And usually I have only my A7 II, my A7 III, and a couple lenses. so I don't really carry that much. The lightest, like I said, the best. After that, you put them, usually I put them close together. Some people, they don't want to take their lenses because they say they check too much and they maybe scratch. I never seen that be on my lenses, but I put everything a little bit tight and I push myself the container through the x-ray machine, and they don't say anything, which that's what you want. And it goes really easy, really simple. You don't have to worry about much. Most of the time I have bags for the lenses. Over here, just want to show you. And I can put more things. I have a space for another lens, and sometimes I even use another flash. The only thing that I don't take off the bag is the batteries, and I'm gonna talk about that, or chargers that can be in here. But pretty much that's it for the TSA. So now you're free to travel and go to the plane with your camera gear. That was simple. It was easy, right? When you go to aboard your flight, you have lines. So you have the first class. If you're in that, well, lucky you, you don't really have a lot of problems. But if you're like me, probably depending on the airline, it is numbers or letters. So you can be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and sometimes I'm in the 5. More if you waited until you can get to the airport to check in and get your boarding pass, is when you're gonna be in the last ones. So one thing that I suggest is that 24 hours before, you can go online and check in. Like that, it will generate your ticket. Of course, depending how many people are doing this, depend which seat you're going to be assigned. But the important thing is that you're not going to be on the line, on the 5th line. Probably you're going to be maybe 3rd, or even if it is 4th. You want to be the closest possible, because it happened to me twice on my way to Mexico and from Mexico here, that I was in the last line. Of course, I didn't check in online. I was doing things and I forgot. They say we don't have space for your bags. We are full. And one of the biggest issue is that you have to check in your bag. Sometimes they take, like when I was on my way to Mexico, they say you have to pay and you have to put the bag under the plane and you have to pay the $30 fee. And thankfully I was able to go through without even, no one say anything, and I was able to find a place and I put it on the plane. That's why I love small bags. And one of the problems is that there's a lot of people that they don't want to pay the $30 to put a bag under the plane. And I understand that, but sometimes they're abused and they have these huge bags where they're taking like 4 spaces. So I've seen people that their bag, they have to go somewhere else because they don't fit on top of the shelves or whatever you call them on the plane, and that's not fair. They should take the big bags, but they don't do it. They just tell you there's no more space. That's why you want not to be one of the last ones to board your plane, because you are having the risk of not having space. Remember that it's not only the bags of the passengers, but also the bags of the people that work, the captain and other people working on the plane. So just think about that. I'm saying this is really important because when we're talking about for equipment, it's just insane, and you can Google it. But there has been many photographers that have lost thousands of dollars because they check in their bags, because they let someone take their bag from them and put it like in the, somewhere on the plane magically. And it's funny because if it is closed, you find it like in 3 months. But if it is something expensive, magically disappear and no one is responsible. And I get it. There's a lot of people, thousands of bags that they go through airports. Mistakes happen, but it's insane that they disappear and no one is responsible and they won't pay you for that. Of course, if you want to sue them, you have to show what you have to prove what you have on your bag, and maybe you can take a photo, maybe you can do certain things, but it's hard and why you want to risk it. So the most important thing is never stay away from your equipment. Having them all the time with you, it will save you from maybe losing your equipment. So that's really important. One of the things that you can say they want to do that is First of all, you can tell them this is my photo equipment, it's really expensive. You can throw a number, 10,000, 15,000. Maybe you have less, maybe you have more. The important thing is that they're not gonna be responsible, or they're gonna think about it more, because they don't want to be responsible for that much money. So one other thing that you can say, like I was talking about batteries, you can have, if it is the regular batteries, AA, AAA, usually there's not a limit. With this one, you have to make sure that the battery doesn't go over 100 watts, and you can have some of this on your bag, and you only can have it on your bag. You cannot check these batteries, they have to be with you all the time, and it's something that you can tell them. The TSA rule is that all these lithium batteries, they have to be with you all the time on top of the plane. So that's one of the things that you can say. But no matter what, don't let them take your bag, just keep it with you. It's better to lose probably your clothes, at least for me, than losing my photo equipment. So take it with you, plan ahead, enjoy. I hope this was helpful. Before I end this video, let me tell you something that happened to me on my trip to Mexico. I was invited to this wedding. I'm always bringing my camera, more if it is a family member or friends. And even if they have their own photographer, I take a few photos. I don't take many, 3, 4, to make sure that I give them something special on my own way. Of course, I give them something else, but I always like to do it. I have never had complaints. Sometimes I do a better job than the one they hire. And but it's something that I'm really respectful of the photographers or videographers that are doing it. It's like I'm not even there. And sometimes I see photographers that say, oh, thank you. No, I mean, I saw you, but it's like you were not there. So just think about that. But the point is that I was invited to this wedding, and I don't really know what happened, but the photographer didn't show up. They didn't have a photographer. I was ready to just enjoy the weddings and take a few photos, but I was asked to do the entire wedding, which I was happy. The only thing issue is that first of all, I didn't have the mindset that I was gonna photo shoot. Not really a problem, but it's better if you know in advance, know 5 minutes before the wedding starts. And the other more important issue, I only had my 8-7 III, and I had the lens that I'm recording right now, that is the 25mm Artisan. And I love this lens, but it's not the first one that I will choose. And I had also my 85mm that I love. That one actually I have used before on weddings. But I mean, they're both prime lenses, and I was able to do a really decent job. They really like the photos. I still need to edit some. I'm gonna create an album for them. But I want to say just that, yes, the equipment is really important. It saves you. I mean, if I would have known a day before, I probably would have gone and rent the best lens I could afford probably. Usually renting is not really that expensive, but I would have done that. But I really have fun, and I wasn't ready. And just want to let you know, if any occasion you are not ready, is just enjoy it. Maybe you don't have all the gear that you want, or maybe you don't have exactly. There's moments that you don't have a choice. Just follow your passion, enjoy your photography, subscribe, comment below, and see you next time.